Io, and today I'm going to be talking about geometry. What is geometry? Geometry is a branch of mathematics concerned with questions of shapes, size, relative positions of figures, and properties of shapes. Fun fact, a mathematician who works in the field of geometry is called a geometer. And my source for this is Wikipedia. Parts of geometry. There are lots of parts of geometry, but some of the parts are finite geometry, differential geometry, and non-Euclidean plane geometry. Vocabulary. Finite, having limits or bounds. Differential, of showing or depending on a difference, differing or varying according to circumstances or relative factors. Non-Euclidean, denying or going beyond Euclidean principles in geometry. And my source for this is Wikipedia. Now, you just heard me say something about non-Euclidean and geometry. And so first, let me break that down. So, the Euclidean part comes from this person named Euclid. And Euclid, sometimes given the name Euclid of Alexandria, to distinguish him from Euclids of Megara, was a Greek mathematician often referred to as the founder of geometry or the father of geometry. He was active in Alexandria during the reign of Ptolemy the First, I think, and he died in 285 BC. And my source for this is Wikipedia. Now, Euclid made up these rules in geometry, and some of them are that all right angles are equal to one another. The parallel postulate that if a straight line falling on two straight if a straight line falling on two straight lines make the interior angles on the same side less than two right angles, the two straight lines, if produced indefinitely, meet on that side on which the angles are less than two right angles. And my source for this is Wikipedia also. Example of Euclidean and non-Euclidean geometry. So I couldn't find geometry that followed the Euclidean rules, but I don't know the name of it, but since it would follow the Euclidean rules, it'd be the opposite of non-Euclidean geometry, which is Euclidean geometry. And non-Euclidean geometry, example of that is spherical geometry, which is sort of plane geometry wrapped into the surface of a sphere, is one example of a non-Euclidean geometry. And I got this from quickanddirtytips.com. Now, like I said before, there are different types of geometry, but the part of geometry that I like is geometry art, also called geometric abstraction, is a form of abstract art based on the use of geometric forms, sometimes, though not always, placed in a non-illusionistic space and combined into non-objective compositions. Vocabulary. Non-illusionistic. Well, illusionism. The term illusionism is used to describe a painting that creates the illusion of a real object or sense of a sculpture where the artist has depicted figure in such a realistic way that it seems alive. Non-objective. Non-objective art is a type of abstract or non-representational art. It tends to be geometric and does not represent specific objects, people, or other subjects found in the natural world. And my source for this is Wikipedia, ThoughtCo, and Tate.org. So basically, geometry art can look half real and half shapes, not real at all. It could be depicting something real, or it can just be all over the place, like it's art, but it's not supposed to be anything specific. What African people have done with geometry. The development of geometrical thinking started in early African history as hunter-gatherers of the Kalahari Desert in southern Africa learned to track animals by getting to know the shape of their poop, to learn which animal passed by, how long ago, if it was hungry or not, and other things. And I got this from mindresearch.org. So I couldn't exactly find the Khoisan people like hunting or tracking animals this way, so I found a video that touches on it a little bit and hopefully it helps. Oops. Hmm. Okay, now it's working. And let's fast forward to the part.
Its color, consistency, and content can indicate what type of animal left it and how recently. Write information you find in a notebook and check the data against a
Okay, let's rerun that just a little bit before. There we go.
disturbance to the ground. Step 2. Study the evidence closely. Focus on droppings or scat. Its color, consistency, and content can indicate what type of animal left it and how recently.
Okay. So we got that. And now, what African people have done with geometry art. So geometry and symmetry in repeated patterns can be seen throughout the area south of the Sahara in forms of artistic design on houses, gourds, baskets, pipes, and other everyday items. I got this from mindresearch.org. How can we use geometry to our benefit? I think we can use geometry to help us build stuff like houses and shrines, basically any architectural structure that we might need. If you were going to build pyramids or stone walls or something like that without mortar, or we would have to know how to stack the stones in a way that would not have the structure just fall down, and that would take geometry. How we can use geometry art to our benefit. I think we could use geometry art to help us draw the floor plans and a picture of what the structure would look like in the end. And that's it. Thanks for watching.